I'm over on the shoulder, and Peter's coming with a new tow vehicle.
Whoa! Oh, gosh. Ooh, hello.
Weird, it died. Hold on, let me pull over while we still have some momentum. If our side of the road diagnosis is correct, this should just simply start. No! If you guys watched until the end of the last video, this is a continuation of that. This thing is barely running and it might die. I don't know, I'm like 10 miles away from my shop right now. And we're just kind of putting along here. Oh. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm only able to go 35. Well, that's more like 30 now. Okay, are we running? All right, it died out on me. It died out again. No. No, don't do this. I can just get going. No, as soon as we give it any load. Come on, baby. Oh, this is horrible. No, we're not gonna make it anywhere like this. There's no way. Oh, maybe I can make it back to the shop. I just really can't give it any load at all. It's really right above 1500 RPM. I can't give it load above 1500. This is it. So launching or taking off is by far the hardest part. Oh, if I make it to legit street quarters, it'll be a total miracle. If there wasn't gonna be any traffic, we'd be good, but trying to take off, you gotta slip the clutch a lot to keep the engine alive so it doesn't die. As soon as you let out and it's in gear, it wants to die out. Okay, so I'm up to about 50 miles an hour right now. Oh, this stinks. All right, the trick here is to keep it in 5th gear. That way I can keep RPM way down and the engine won't bog as much. I know that's a little counterintuitive. Usually when you throw it in a higher gear, that'll bog the engine down if the RPMs are too low, but we're right in a sweet spot. I think I could do it. I couldn't record it. I had to put the camera down, but I just had to take a turn going like 45 miles an hour, like a 90-degree turn, because I didn't want to brake too much. I didn't want to lose momentum. Well, I had to stop at a light, and I think that'll do it. I cannot take off at all. People are honking at me. It's a lot of fun. Come on, baby. Come on. I'm driving again. People are passing me. They're angry. As long as I don't need to stop, I could make it. And I just looked. I thought I was a lot closer than I was. I'm still like 4 miles away. This really stinks. All right, guys, so I was able to go 45, but my demise was needing to stop. So I got on the highway. There was a nice downhill ramp. I got up to about 55. I hit traffic, and that's all she wrote. I'm gonna call it quits right now. It's getting kind of dangerous. I can only go, I know, sorry, the sunlight is blinding, but I can only go about 15. So, you know, I got about 4 miles down the highway. I'm like a mile away from the shop, and it still does run, but yeah, this isn't good. So I'm over on the shoulder, and Peter's coming with a new tow vehicle that you guys haven't even seen yet. We just hit 144,000 miles, and I'm not hitting the accelerator at all. Yeah, it was revving up, now it just died. So that's all she wrote. I've been in this situation many times before, so this unfortunately isn't anything new. I tend to drive really old broken cars. I've let it cool down for a while. Just kind of curious to see. Oh wow, I can totally take off. Is this an issue with the catalytic converters? Are they plugging up due to heat? Oh, whoa. No way, this says like full power right now. Well, not full power, it's definitely choked up, but I'm going. I'm going, baby, I'm going. Oh, it's starting to break up again. Woo! Okay, that was short-lived. Now it's doing the same thing, but we got up to 50. I can do 50. Oh, my exit. I'm staring at it, it's 1 mile away. Peter is already on the way with our new unreleased tow vehicle, which you guys are gonna love. And maybe I don't have to spoil it. Maybe I don't have to show you guys what that is just yet. Although if you watch some of my recent videos, you may see it in the background. It's gigantic. I got off at my exit and I had to stop at a light, unfortunately. And now we're having issues. Okay. We are seriously 3 blocks away. Come on, baby. All right, short shift a second. There we go. Okay, all right. We are in second. I'm going to make it. I'm home. Just can't slow down. Good thing this Fox body handles pretty well. Yep, that is the car moving itself right now. I literally couldn't even make it into my parking lot. Look, that is my parking lot. And it's it. So I'm pushing it right now. This is ridiculous. What are the chances? I mean, if I let it cool down, it would have been fine, but we don't have time for that. I'm going pretty quick now. These things are light. I can make one of those music videos where I'm just walking with my car and then what do they do when there's, I don't really watch music. Do they have music videos anymore? Then you hop in. Yeah, I'm home. All right, so I'm letting the Fox body engine cool down, but I've heard that 2 out of 3 Fords by 100,000 miles will be found on road dead at least once. Now, I'm not sure if that's true, but I do know that 2 out of 3 men by the age of 35 will experience some form of male pattern baldness. I'm definitely one of them, but I'm fighting it off with Keeps. So Keeps is a subscription service that makes treating male pattern baldness easy and affordable by keeping everything online, and it can be as easy as a few drops on your head. So you consult with a real doctor from the comfort of your own home, come up with a game plan, and then they have many easy options like the foam, like the little dripper. They even have thickening shampoo, thickening conditioner, and you can use their thickening pomade to style your hair. Now, it typically takes between 4 and 6 months to start seeing results, so the sooner you get started, the better, but the results speak for themselves. And if you guys go to keeps.com/legit or click on my link down below, you're gonna get 50% off your entire first order. So a big thanks to Keeps for giving us easy options when it comes to treating male pattern baldness and for continuing to support automotive content creators like myself. All right, so I just let it cool down a little bit. So we should be able to literally drive it into the garage right there. Oh yeah, we're good. We are gonna be good. All right, we made it. So if it is clogged catalytic converters or a clogged exhaust in general, it could be the cats that came apart and then clogged up the muffler, who knows. Usually you can tell just by feeling the flow from the tailpipe. Now at idle, it's gonna feel pretty normal. It's not gonna be that much because it's not flowing that much. It's blowing out chunks of like rust and stuff, but I don't know, it's pretty free flowing, but there is quite a bit of debris in the exhaust. You can see here, just little chunks of rust. I don't know, I'm starting to think that maybe this is not a clogged catalytic converter. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's it. And it doesn't really smell bad. A lot of times when the cats go bad, they start to smell. And that's not the case. All right, I'm going back to a fuel issue. It is a little weird that when I let it cool down, it goes again. But also, if the cats were clogged, letting it cool down wouldn't really help all that much either. It would still be clogged. So it's possible that the new fuel pump with the sock at the bottom is pulling up some more rust because the tank was quite rusted. So I think we got to go after fuel pressure. All right, now luckily fuel issues are usually pretty easy to figure out. So we're going to start off with a fuel pressure gauge. So we have an adapter that is going to go right here on the Schrader valve. So we will screw it on and we'll go ahead and start her up. That's pretty low right off the bat, I think. I got to look up what Fox body fuel pressure is at idle. Peter, just give it a little fuel there. So it goes up a little. Hold it at a higher, steady RPM. Go higher. Okay. With absolutely no load, it's holding right at about 30. Will this reach? Oh, yes it will. Oh, yes it will. We're going for a ride. All right, so we got a piece of wood holding up the hood so it doesn't pinch our line. We have a fire extinguisher, and we should be able to tell as we drive this if it cuts out at the same time as the fuel pressure cutting out, then we have a good idea that it's something going on with the fuel pump probably. See, it's like if you let it cool, it's got its power back for a little bit, yeah. It's running good.
It's wide open.
That's wide open. I mean, it feels slow, but it doesn't cut out. That's kind of how it was in the beginning of the test drive. Oh, that was wide open?
Yep.
That went down to 20, oh, we're at like 18 PSI. Yeah, that's not good. That'll do it. All right, let's head back before this thing leaves us stranded. But we definitely have a fuel pressure issue. It should not be dropping that much, and I don't think our base pressure is proper either. Yeah, it's way slow. Oh yeah. Oh, that's it. Right now it's dead. Yeah. Okay, there we go. We got no power. Oh, look at that.
Full throttle.
We're at 10 PSI at full throttle, and it's not adding any power. It's not doing anything. Look at that. Peter had mentioned that maybe the sock on the fuel filter is just picking up all the dirt, and when we shut it off, the dirt all falls down, and then we get kind of a restart there as far as fuel goes. But then as we drive a little bit more, it sloshes around, picks up more dirt from the fuel tank, clogs the sock. So that is a very, very good possibility. So we are going to drop the tank, and luckily we know how to do that. It's bad now, right?
You're pushing if we stop.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, we're at like 11 PSI, and this thing is bucking and surging like it was for me too.
It's a Mustang!
It's a Mustang. Hey, you know what? I gotta say, I'd rather have it be a fuel problem than catalytic converters. There's 4 of them on this car. I don't think Eli wanted to swap out the exhaust just yet, because if there's nothing wrong with it, you know, it sounds good, whatever, roll with it, right? So this is a budget kind of refresh, rebuild on this car that he's doing and I'm helping with. So we want to try and keep the cost down as much as possible. And we knew we had to drop the tank again anyway to clean it. We just got it to work in the parking lot. So, you know, now we just have to do it sooner than later. All right, fuel door popper works. We still have this nasty gas cap. This will get cleaned and or replaced in the detail video. And we got 3 10s to remove. All right, so we got the 3 bolts out of there. This is like deja vu, isn't it?
All over again.
We literally just did this.
But we did it on our backs in a parking lot.
That's right. Now we have the lift, all of our tools. We should have this fuel tank out in seriously, what, like 10 minutes?
7.5.
7.5 minutes. Time it. Well, it'll be like a minute and a half for you guys in the video, but we'll tell you the truth. We're gonna time it. All right, guys, it is 5:01. We kind of cheated by jacking this thing up, but you ready? Let's do it. All right, first things first is a line off of the fuel filter.
Whoa. Gosh. Ooh, hello.
Okay. All right, we still a little pressure.
Look at the color of it.
Yeah. Look at the color. That is nasty. Okay, yeah, so that's the fuel going into the fuel filter. And so the filter had to filter out that. Yeah, that's no good.
Come on, hurry up. Let's go.
I know. This is probably gonna take 5 of the 7 minutes that this is totally not gonna take us. These stupid lines, these clips. There we go, it's coming. All right, good. You got the electrical connector, we're good there. There we go.
What is this, your first time using tools?
I think so. Don't ever work in a rush. This is not good. This is how you get hurt. Okay, whatever. All right, I need an 8 mil. 8 mil.
Let's go.
Okay, straps, right?
Yep, straps.
Do I have the 13 or you got the 13?
you had it.
All right, 13, we're good. Should be much easier. Last time it had like 20 gallons of fuel in it. Here we go. Oh, we got the vent. You just got to pop it up. And you got those lines. Good.
That's out. What's time?
All right, that's it. What do we got? Look at that, 5:06. That was 5 minutes. 5 minutes to take out a Fox Body fuel tank. You know, we lost a lot of fuel. It was kind of dangerous, but we did it. And now we can discover if the issue is the fuel pump sucking up rust. There you are, fuel pump. Look at that little bowl that it sits in. What lies beneath? All right, so we have to hit the ring with a punch. You guys know that though? Oh man, look at the little bucket that this fits into. Look at that nasty, nasty fuel. There's our sock. Oh yeah. That is quite dirty. Definitely have to replace this regardless, but it's a really good thing the sock is here and the fuel filter because the engine is still running great. Like at idle, it runs fine. So I don't think any of this stuff has gotten to the fuel injectors or at least anything big to damage them. So you can see the fuel in the sump there is very cloudy, very rusty. Everything around it is cleaner, but look at those literal chunks that we're watching right now. So this has got to be what happened. Before we dump this all out and it mixes with everything, I'm just trying to gauge whether there's like some solids in here that would be getting sucked up into the sock. And I'm not really feeling anything. It doesn't really mean too much. I was just kind of curious before we dump this all out. All right, so we're gonna pop out the fuel sending unit as well. And the gauge on this car does not work. So this might be a really good time to replace this. That was the plan originally, since we knew we were gonna have to take this tank out to clean it anyway. We said we'd do the fuel sending unit at that time. This thing's probably nasty too. It definitely makes sense why none of this would work anymore. But yeah, and this is also adding to all the corrosion and rust in the fuel. Oh yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. All right, I'm sloshing this fuel around. And we put 5 gallons in it. Wow. This looks just as bad as when we originally drained it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's
It
like we
needs-
never rinsed it.
Yeah, it's like we did absolutely nothing. I think we got almost all of this out. Good way to waste like $30 worth of fuel. We put 93 in this, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's the next day. And you want to know something very interesting? Peter went to high school in Japan for half the time, and the other half went to high school at the same high school I went to, but he's a couple years younger than me, so we never knew each other. So that's interesting. Why he has a hammer in his hand is also a little weird. But what's most interesting is that a Fox body fuel tank is only $200, and we picked it up locally. They had this thing in stock. And considering the price gouging that goes on once a car becomes a classic, I'm really surprised they don't charge much more. So $200, that's it for a brand new clean fuel tank. We don't have to mess around with trying to rebuild that one. That would be a nightmare. So anyway, we picked up the new fuel tank. We have a brand new fuel level sender, a brand new fuel filter. We have a new sock for the fuel pump. And we back flushed this and nothing really came out. It looked really clean. So the sock definitely did its job, and the fuel filter most likely got the rest of it before it went to the injectors, because the engine still runs really well when it gets proper fuel pressure. All right, so we have a new seal for the sender, and we're just gonna feed this in. So our fuel gauge was not working. Not saying it's gonna work after this, but it might. Sometimes the actual gauge goes bad. New little ring. All right, so you want to start these off by hand. And then we get to use Peter's favorite tool, the hammer, which this thing saved us on our E30 trip when we were delivering the car. What did we fix? The starter, the fuel pump.
The trim as you were driving it down the road.
That's right, we're driving down the road fixing the trim. Have you guys ever fixed a car while literally driving it down the road? Comment down below with your story. I definitely want to hear those. All right, so these strainers, or socks, whatever you want to call it, they just clip on just like that. And then you guys probably saw this in the first video on this car. You gotta kind of play a little game to get this in. So you get it in there, and then you gotta turn it. Yeah, so then you can see here, the fuel pump goes in just like that into its little sump. And look at how nice the inside of this fuel tank is. This Mustang is gonna be so, so happy with us. Wow, I don't even want to put fuel in it. It's too pretty. And then always start these rings by hand. You should always be able to get them under all the notches without getting the hammer out. Don't start it with the hammer is what I'm saying. So satisfying. All right, so now we just have to transfer this little plastic clip, and the factory tank does have some foam placed in a few spots. So around here, here, and there. And our new tank doesn't have any foam. All right, so we just have some window sealer. It's got one sticky side. Probably don't have to do this. I'm sure the old stuff was all worn out and not doing anything anymore, but why not? We're going this far, right? This is a nice enough car for $5 worth of weather stripping. All right, put a strip right here as well. All right, and just a couple strips right here I think we'll do. And 2, and I think that's it. We're ready to go back in. Before we put the tank in, let's just go ahead and replace our already new fuel filter, because we know this guy probably contaminated. Oh yeah, but let's see what it looks like going the other way. All right, let's see if this fuel filter worked. It looks a lot better. Yeah, it looks a lot better. So we had that versus orange. Fuel filters work. All right, so let's click our new one in. All right, before the fuel tank goes in, we're just gonna clean away some of this stuff. The detail video is next on this Mustang, so definitely stay tuned for that. We're gonna be cleaning the whole exterior. We're probably gonna blast a lot of this as well. We're gonna make it look as nice as it can look without getting crazy with the paint job. So it'll be a budget first wash, buff, clean, whatever you wanna call it, mold removal. Oh man, this is the first time we've cleaned anything on this car. And it is in such good condition. Look at this. Oh, I can't wait for the next video. If this whole fuel pump situation gets fixed here in a few minutes, we're gonna start filming that video right away. All right, I'm getting a little carried away with cleaning here, but take a look at the fuel filler neck. It's got some rust on it, nothing too crazy. We're gonna spray it down with this miracle solution and we'll see it transform. All right, so check it out after just a few minutes of sitting. It is much, much cleaner. So I just used this on my SVT Lightning and the results were pretty crazy. We're almost done with that video, but definitely check it out because the frame is right over here and looking pretty awesome. All right, here we go with our new fuel tank. We are professionals at this now. 5 minutes to get it out. Who else can beat that? Show me a video. Tag me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever you're on. Let's pop in our little vent. There we go. Can you beat 5-minute removal?
Well, we gotta put the harness on first.
Don't forget to plug in your new fuel pump. It needs electricity. There we go. Get our filler neck in there. It's too easy, Peter. It's just too easy. Or we're just that good. We're like Fox body specialists now.
Well, we are the preeminent Mustang channel on YouTube.
We are a Mustang channel now, apparently. Never owned a Mustang before in my life. I get the twin turbo one. We have the Fox body now. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
How many generations? Because we got 2 of them so far.
Peter's asked me how many Mustang generations there are. I just became a Mustang guy like, a few weeks ago. I don't have all the answers yet. We're in the hole. Okay, there we go. Was that less than 5 minutes?
I think that was like probably 2.
That was 2.5. That was 43 seconds. Negative 43 seconds. We went back in time. All right, so before we start filling this thing up with fuel, we want to make sure that the fuel in the fuel lines is back flushed out, even though it didn't really look all that dirty because the strainer and the fuel filter caught most of it. But there's a couple ways you can do this. This might not work because we have a fuel pressure regulator, but this is a great way to check a fuel pressure regulator if it's functioning properly. But the Schrader valve is the same that you would use on a tire for your car. So we can actually blast a little bit of air in here. And on cars that don't have the regulator on the rail, this will work. But let's see what happens here. This might stop, yeah. So this stops right around 60. And if we went crazy with it, with the air pressure, we might be able to get past the diaphragm for the regulator and it would send the fuel back, but we also don't want to break it. But this seems to be a fuel pressure regulator that is holding perfectly fine. Another trick to check it is to pull the vacuum line off of the regulator with it running, and you shouldn't have any fuel ever coming out of the vacuum line. If you do, your diaphragm is torn. All right, so we've taken the core out of the fuel rail. This is just like the core in the tire stem on your car. Okay, so now we're gonna try and suck some of this fuel out. There we go. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's our fuel. And you could also probably blow the line out from the back, but I don't want to make a mess. This is a lot easier. It's not going to be a whole lot in there either. Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, that's about it. It looks a little dark because there was a tiny little bit of oil brake fluid in here, but that's all we got. All right, don't forget to put your core back in, and we'll just tighten it up. Just like so. We got to go back on with the fuel pressure gauge after this, even though we'll know when we drive it if it's fixed. Check this out. This is a tire valve stem core torque wrench. It clicks. That's awesome. So you don't over torque it. I've never seen that before. All right, so we don't have any fuel. I don't feel like going to the gas station, but luckily a few months ago I filled the Lightning up and then the engine started having issues and it's been down ever since. So I have like $5,000 now worth of fuel. It was actually an investment because I filled up before this totally normal fuel hike that we've seen. The rods for the Lightning engine are on galactical back order, so I don't know when that thing is going to be done now. So we might as well use this fuel up because it's going to go bad if we don't. So we just got our little cheapo transfer pump. I cleaned this out like crazy, don't worry. Look at that, this pump works pretty good. See that? Get it right in there. Ah! All right. All right, that was just for demonstration purposes only. We'll keep it right there. All right, we'll hook Eli up with some Lightning fuel and then see what happens. See how she runs.
Is this the car version of a transfusion, like a blood transfusion?
Yeah, what's fuel? In the last video, we talked about the engine oil is the blood. The coolant, I think, is the sweat. Some people said it's the pee. So what is the fuel? The fuel is the food. It's the water. It's the drink. Yeah, I'm feeding it. It's a mother bird, baby bird feeding ceremony that's happening right now. All right, you've seen it here first. Comparing birds feeding each other to SVT Lightning fuel going into a Fox body Mustang is getting really weird. All right, we just got done pumping a lot of the fuel out of that Lightning tank. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, it's so slow. So slow. All right, I think we're just a little over a quarter. It wasn't as much as I thought. All right, last piece of the puzzle. Wait a minute. Take that out, Peter. We can't. We gotta give the people a little bit of a sneak preview to the next video. Let's go blast this thing. All right, go for it. This is just pressure washing. Let's get a little engine degreaser on her. Okay, really not all that impressive. The mold has just become part of the gas cap. Yeah, the inside looks really nice. You did an excellent job blasting that, Peter. I think we're just going for a patina look at the moment, but maybe we'll just get a black one for the next video. It doesn't match anymore. It needed to look more like this. Oh, look at that.
Save it. Stop.
All right. All right, Peter, go ahead and turn the ignition forward. See what we got. Okay, do that again. Like, go back and might be some error. There we go. There we go. Now it's climbing. Keep going. We got a little leak from the gauge. Okay. All right, we're just going to go ahead and start it up. See what happens. Go for it. Is that you? Oh, weird. It died. Let's do it again. Okay. Huh. I mean, I think base fuel pressure on this thing with the vacuum line off is supposed to be like 42 PSI, so we're not too far off. Okay, we got it to go. We're at like 36, 37 PSI of fuel pressure, but you're obviously holding the accelerator, right? Yeah. All right, let off. Let's see if will it die. All right, so it's running good now. It's running good. Here's where we are for fuel pressure with it running. And I want to see what it's like if we pull the vacuum line off the regulator. All right, so we got the fuel pressure regulator. It's right here. Yeah, this is taped up because there's probably a hole in it. I just heard a little vacuum leak. There we go. Is it going up? This vacuum line is broken. That's what's going on. So this is stuck on. I'm having a hard time pulling it off. I bet you someone tried to pull this off before and then ripped the line to it. And they just said, forget about it. Hang on. There we go. Okay, what's that at?
45, 43?
42 and a half, 43, whatever is perfect base fuel pressure with the hose off. That's how you set it. So at this point, we got to fix this. So let's see, is it the hard line that's leaking? All right, yeah. This is literally just not even, they were using the tape. They were totally using the tape. This wouldn't have really caused any of the issues we were having though, having the vacuum line come off, which it wasn't. This was holding. It was only when I tried to pull it off, but even if it had lost its vacuum and increased the fuel pressure to its base it would have ran perfectly fine during all the driving just to make it back to the shop. That was definitely the strainer getting clogged with stuff. But I mean, we haven't even gone for a test drive to test it out, but that's what we think it is. All right, we're gonna do a little repair here. We have some extra hose. I don't have any hard line right now, but that's okay. Yeah, so we had some hose laying around. It's the exact same size. So if tape worked, this will definitely work. It is like factory. We are basically Ford engineers from the 80s right now. Bam, slide this up. You'd never know. All right, so I'm not gonna drive around with the fuel pressure gauge hooked up because it has developed a pretty bad leak right here. And we have exhaust manifolds right there. And you know, fuel is kind of flammable, so we don't wanna mess around.
Ready to go find some crowds?
I'm ready. I am ready. Well, actually, this is too old. This is too old for crowd finding. We have that.
That's the crowd control?
Yeah, that's the crowd control right there.
What is it, 300 foot-pounds of torques? Torques? All the torques?
It's got all the torques. I said 215 horsepower in the last video, and someone said, correction, 225 horsepower. And then in 92 or 93, they lowered the horsepower, this guy said? I don't know. So far, so good. 2,000 RPM, solid. 45 miles an hour, no issues whatsoever.
40-million-year-old tires?
Yeah, the tires are very old, and new ones are actually coming today. We'll show them off in the next video when we clean it, but so, you know, we have new tires and old tires that we're gonna throw out, so just saying. It's got its power back, baby! It has all 200-ish horsepower and some torque, you know, like what do these have, like 300 foot-pounds or something?
Somebody will correct you in the comments.
Someone will let me know in the comments. It said 301.7 horsepower in the 87, and then in the 87 and a half, they upped it 1.4 gigawatts of torques because the engineers found that the airflow is restrictive at this RPM. People are nuts about their cars, like me.
Forgot something.
All right, I just want to say I can't brake torque it right now. I just got fresh boots and they're too close to the pedals. I'm messing it up. I need to get some shoes. Okay. All right, so yeah, we had a little cutout there, but it wasn't anything like we had before.
Like fuel or ignition?
Dude, it just felt like it was too quick. Like,
yeah.
Ignition, yeah, it felt kind of ignition-y.
It's the remix to ignition, cutting out and it's missing. But we're rolling these tires, smoking all, I don't know, smoking like it's our mission.
There we
Yeah,
go,
there we go.
Oh, shoot.
Dead,
Yeah,
dead?
no, it's dead. It's dead.
That's like,
Oh, come on. No, it's like not even wanting to do anything. Hold on, let me pull over while we still have some momentum.
push.
Push. Oh, Jesus. Wonderful. That was very short-lived. It was a good time. We had fun in the Fox body for like 5 minutes. Found on road dead. That's meaning a lot to me now. This is the second day out of 2 that I've driven this, and it's you know, this has happened. All right, well, we brought absolutely no tools. We actually don't even have a functioning cell phone.
Oh.
Peter's cell phone, he took the SIM card out of at the shop because we had some footage on there, and I didn't bring mine, so we have a handle off the passenger door. That's about it. Hey, it's like 1987. This is what happens when you break down in 1987. We got no cell phone.
Do we have 2 quarters? Can we go
Yeah.
find a payphone?
Yeah, we need a payphone. 2 quarters, that'll get you like a sub sandwich back then. All right.
Oh man, inflation.
Let's see. Do we have any fuel pressure? Well, we had some, but here, try priming it again. Peter, just turn the ignition forward. Here, go ahead, prime it. Yep. We got fuel. That's for sure. I just got Peter's keys, really. Oh wait, these are my keys. These are my Trans Am keys. I'm like, I just got Peter's keys all full of fuel, but these are mine. So I'm leaving our wire resting there. Go ahead and crank it. All right. Yeah, we're getting no spark. Peter, we are getting no spark. And we were just talking about this, and I'd already picked it up. But a lot of guys in the comment section, and Eli himself, when I told him this thing was dying out, he was like, oh, replace this ignition module because everybody on the internet says this goes bad. And it's called a TFI module. And my first car was an 88 Trans Am GT. I had a couple of 80s third generation Firebirds, and the ignition modules on those would go bad. Ignition modules, just the ones on the distributor, just generally go bad on 80s cars. And we have no spark. But I did throw the new part in the back here.
Did you?
Yeah, well, I bought one like literally just to give to Eli to throw in the glove box because I didn't want to replace it as preventative because this has a Motorcraft one, and I just ordered one on Amazon, and it came in one day. It was a same day deal, so it's like a $35 Chinese one. But it'd be a good part to keep, you know, in your car. Just in case you break down, which is insane. I mean, I don't know if that's the problem, but that's it.
Yeah,
it's serious. Now the issue is, how are we gonna replace this? We have no tools. So we gotta see what tools are actually required to replace this thing. Wait, how's this thing mounted in here anyway? Oh, two screws. Wow, those are kind of a pain in the butt to get to. I mean, if that's it, I mean, who knows? So I brought the part, but I did not bring any tools at all. I was very confident that we would be okay. Maybe we can just tap on this while we're cranking it. Do we have the hammer? Do we have anything?
I do not have the hammer.
All right, give me the door handle. I'm gonna use that. Maybe we get one last run out of it. I have no idea. Can't even tap it. There's no room in here. This is pathetic. All right, let's just see. We've been broken down for 15 minutes. Maybe it needs to cool down. Go ahead, Peter. No. That's good. Let's not kill the battery. It's not worth it. Not having a cell phone really stinks because we're not that far away from the shop. We could call Max, and he could be here with tools.
You gotta show a little leg.
Wait, is this guy gonna stop?
Help us!
Help us! I thought he was actually gonna stop.
Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe the camera is scaring them away. They're like, we got a U-Haul little plug here for the trailer hitch that we got to remove. I'm just trying to see if there's any tools in here at all. Yeah, this is all we have. Is this coincidentally the same size as the distributor? I doubt it. I want to triple check that we don't have any spark. So I found a hose clamp in there just so I can touch the inside of the spark plug wire. If we're gonna like literally run like 2 miles back to the shop, I want to be sure that we're gonna grab the right tools. Well, I mean, we'll grab a car and a cell phone, but anyway. Go ahead, Peter. Okay. All right. Yeah, no spark there. We don't have any tools here, but we can at least pop this off and see what we have. Yeah, this rotor was in good shape, and so is the cap. Yeah, I mean the TFI module, it could be it. This just controls the advance and the retard of the timing. This very well could be an ignition coil. Okay, hang on. That's enough. Well, we got nothing at the coil. All right, so now I have the coil wire from here that normally goes to the distributor going to our little testing tool there. Go ahead, Peter. All right, nothing. All right, Peter is walking into the abyss to try and flag someone down. I'm doing the same. At this point, we just need a cell phone. If we can get someone's cell phone, we can call Max, and we'll be back in business. 335i guy, he's not stopping. He's got exhaust. Come on now, it's common courtesy. All right, Peter just knocked on a door. Thank you. All right, well, if we're gonna be sitting here for a while, we might as well sit here in style.
Two tops, baby.
It's hot, and we want to look good sitting here broke down. Max is on his way. He's gonna bring some functioning cell phones, and he's gonna see if they have a coil in stock somewhere. So hopefully we'll get a coil.
How cool do you feel now?
Cruising on the street in my 5.0. All right, Peter, what do you think? Chances it's the coil.
I'm not too hopeful. Every coil I've seen to go bad, they go bad gradually, like not on or off. I don't know. Maybe it could be.
I don't know. I've seen them just go out like that.
Knock on rust?
Knock on rust, yeah. This is a mostly rust-free car, okay? It's just the hatch. That's it.
You gotta look for. Oh yeah, we gotta.
And the hatch is explainable. They had these little drain holes that would get clogged, and then the rust, and all the water would go inside, and it would rust out. Other than that, the car's great.
Well, now it's got plenty of drain holes, so.
Yeah, it's got a lot of drain holes. They formed their own. Oh, hello, Max. Roadside assistance. There we go. They had it.
$28.
$28. Okay. Now let's see if we have the tools to do this. All right, yeah, we do have to take out these tiny little screws. We got a 5 mil. I don't know what size that is. It's a 6 mil. We got a 6 mil?
Got a 6 mil.
Yes, Max brought the 6 mil.
Right there.
There we go. Oh no, it's not a 5 mil or a 6 mil.
5.5?
No. Did you bring a 5.5?
I brought the 5.5.
He brought the 5.5. 7. 5.5, got it.
There you go.
The Sonic Tool backpack is awesome. Peter and I flew out to Philadelphia, and that's where Peter's phone got destroyed. So he's using our old film phone. So I film with old cell phones, like 2-3-year-old cell phones, and we don't put SIM cards or activate them or anything like that. So he smashed his phone, then he took his SIM card out, put it in our old smashed film phone, and then right before we left, he took it out to try the other phone again. Like, I literally always have my cell phone on me. Like, my family's always yelling at me, I'm always on my phone. And this is the one time I don't have my phone. Max got our phones, yes, thank you. Well, my friend Chris that I went to grade school with, just past you broke down as someone coming for you. Chris, you could have stopped. You could have stopped. Great. Gotta be so gentle with this. I don't want to like pull it by the wires or anything. I cannot afford jacking up this connector and breaking it right now. I really don't want to get violent. Oh, here we go. Okay, all right. Are you bad, coil? Hey, it's got spiders in it. That could have done it. All right. New coil. Savior part going in. All right, new coil is in. Click, click, we're good. You know, the irony is that Max is literally editing this video. Like, we gave him all the footage to this point, and it's a new day. Sometimes these videos take a few days. Yeah. So he edits what we did the day before. So he's editing and coming out here to give us tools on the same video. This is some weird time space
like
continuum.
Inception.
It's Inception.
Kind of.
It's
Do you
Inception.
want to say anything to future editing, Max?
You're doing great. Just keep it up. Go you.
If our side of the road diagnosis is correct, this should just simply start.
Fire the hole!
No! It would have started by now. You gotta be kidding me. All right, so the coil didn't fix it, so we're gonna go after the TFI module. We don't have that many tools to diagnose anything, so we're throwing very inexpensive Ford parts at it. So I've never done this TFI module before. It's kind of why we went after the coil. Let's give this a little mark here. We just loosen up the distributor, and then we have to turn it. There we go. We just need to move this so we can get access to the screws. We don't want to mess up the ignition timing. We don't have a timing light on us or anything. It is a Motorcraft TFI ignition module. And yes, our shallow 5.5 will not reach in there. Excellent. We do have a 6 mil, and it's a 12 point. It's possible. Gotta go the right way though. It's not catching. I can feel it just barely. No. All right, so Peter's here. He brought the Caprice. We have a police officer here that is helping us by just blocking traffic. All right, we got 4.5. That's cool. We got the 6. Where's the 5.5? It's not the 5.5.
I brought up.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Sorry.
Wait, is this the 5.5? Yes, okay, good. All right, so we should be able just to slide this thing down. There we go. All right, we're definitely cleaning this up, and Peter actually brought electric contact cleaner. He was thinking ahead. So we had to send Peter back to the shop to get more tools, the 5.5, and he brought the Caprice back just to show the police officer. All right, so we're going back together with our new TFI module. Okay, it's in. Click, click. All right, so now we just got to turn this back, and we made the little marks here so that our timing isn't messed up.
Eli's being super useful over there.
All right, we'll tighten this distributor back up. Keep that in there. All right. Is it gonna start? Place your bets. Place your bets, people. I don't know what that means because you're just probably sitting on your couch or at work watching this right now, but place a bet on something. All right, Eli. You're gonna be our lucky charm. Just come in and save the day. Yes!
That's it. That's it.
We did it!
Yeah!
We did it! We fixed the Mustang!
Huzzah!
Dead on the road again! What do you think of your car running again?
Dude, this is amazing. Again.
Oh my gosh, all right, TFI module. I was just gonna leave it in the glove box for a rainy day for him, and the rainy day was today. It's a beautiful day. So anyway, we totally did not just throw parts at the car. It needed that coil 100%, right? And, but yeah, that was the main problem, the TFI. Thank you very much, officer. We We had to bring the Caprice to show the officer. We talked to this guy for like half hour at least. Very cool. It runs great. Again, okay. So let's just pretend that never happened. The fuel tank totally fixed it. And yeah, I love Fox bodies. This is so cool with the T-tops though. Why did they discontinue the T-tops? I mean, they ran it till 2002 until they discontinued the F-body. I mean, who doesn't want T-tops? I know they're rattly and they're leaky and stuff, but it's so cool because if you got a convertible, I mean, let's just be honest, it's kind of a chick thing. I mean, I like convertibles, don't get me wrong, but a lot of guys just want hard tops. But a T-top was right in the middle where it was still tough, but you still got some wind in your hair.
All right, rank them. Targa top, T-top, convertible.
I would rather have, well, it depends the era. If it was an 80s car, I definitely want T-top, and I definitely like Targa top. So I'm gonna go T-top if it's an 80s car, then Targa, then convertible. Was the F-body the most recent T-top car?
There's no current cars that offer T-tops, right?
I don't think there's any current
If there
cars.
was, you'd buy one.
I would buy a car if it had T-tops on it. In the last video, we were wondering what the longest single generation car was because the Fox body ran from 79 all the way to 93. We had a lot of comments about that. A lot of them were cars from like Russia and stuff. So let's fine tune this. What is the longest running single generation car? So it doesn't matter if a car was sold from 1950 to current under the same nameplate. They all have separate generations. Like this is the Fox body. What's the single longest running generation? I think it's the Chevy Express van. They haven't changed that in like 20 something years. But let me know in the comments. Single generation in the United States. Let me know what it is. I guess I could Google it, but I'd rather hear from you guys. All right, now that we got this new TFI module. Oh yeah. Like I know it's slow, but it's still fun. And it chirped them. I mean, the tires are rock hard. They're like 50 years old. Oh man. It handles well. That's all the way down in second. Yeah, you know, minivans might beat it, but they don't look nearly as cool.
They don't have T-tops.
And they don't have T-top. Love this thing. Woo! Mustang!
Those are three guys.
Those were three guys.
Three's a crowd.
Three is a crowd. Those guys are lucky. These tires are so bad. All right, guys, I'm going to end the video right here before something else breaks. But right now we have a Fox body that runs perfectly. It has no fuel issues, no ignition issues, no other weird 80s issues. And I think I mentioned this in the last video, but Eli wants to take this to a car show. I'm bringing a couple of my cars. He wants to bring this. So we got to go back and wash it. So definitely stay tuned for the first wash, first buff kind of detail video on this car. We're going to see if we can bring it back kind of to its former glory. We'll see how far we get there. But I hope you join us for that one. And if you haven't already, give this video a big thumbs up. Share the video with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't already. And most importantly, oh, that guy wants some. That guy wants some. That guy's angry. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Most importantly, have an awesome day. I'll catch all of you in the next video.